that you were asking, what do we do with this explosion?
Yes.
And I was saying, I have been making this cry and this loud, specific point that we send our children to learn how to sit for over 20 years. When you go in a classroom, all there is a chair. There is no pump, there is no hole, there is no, people draw a fish on the wall, but they don't have a pond. So we teach our children to sit in primary, sit in secondary, sit in high school, and sit at university. Sitting becomes part of their DNA. When they finish, they are looking for a sitting job. That's why you say Muhakanezi sits in this area. We don't teach them how to produce. If we taught our children how to produce in school, even if he finished 7 years, he could go and produce something. It could be passion fruit. It could be fish. We are happy to draw the fish. Every school that I see, primary school, has fish on its wall. But how many have a pond? Why don't we put a fish in the pond? The child knows that the fish keeps its babies in the mouth, that it spits them after 7 days, that it produces 1.5 million babies, that you can feed it like this. Then if he left school after 6 years in primary, he can go and begin an activity. Our biggest dynamite is that sitting education and the Curriculum Development Center. And it is going to swallow the whole of these African countries. It's going to eat them up. Because people are looking for jobs. Old people are not looking for jobs. They didn't study sitting. You don't go in a village and find a 60-year-old saying, I'm unemployed. No. Because she learned how to grow food, how to produce from her grandmother and her great-great-grandmother. But our children don't. I was with a son today who was complaining that he leaves to go and work produce in a banana plantation. He leaves the children at home, the wife at home, to go and produce alone. Here in Kampala, he's got a farm in Mukono. So unless we get this school and we say from morning up to from 6 to midday, let them produce. Let them learn how to make, juice. Let them know how to make oil. Let them learn how to produce carrots. Let them, a whole range of things that they could learn. And then in the afternoon, they study the theory that they produce. This certificate they give our children is meaningless, is worthless. You can't use it as an umbrella. You can't give it to a bus and it takes you home. It has no value. It's not even transferable.
But it's made you who you are.
No, sir.
Yes,
absolutely not.
The
sir.
education that you
critique, no, I did not learn what I teach every day in school. I did not. And let me tell you this. If I had learned about cows when I was in school, I would be the richest person in Uganda. If I had learned about fish, I learned about bees from my mother. One time I was stranded at home. My mother gave me 1.2 million, and I asked, where did you get it from? She had 8 hives. We've now extended it up to 600 hives. 3 hives make 1 jerrycan of honey. Each jerrycan of honey, how much money? 450,000. I learned about bees in school, like they do this and they pollinate, they did. Nobody says to me, you know what, if you got a hive and put it there and it's whatever, the bees can enter. We had that knowledge traditionally, but it was not being taught in school. The lecturer who teaches economics at the university doesn't even have a store. How come the richest people in Kampala are people who didn't go to school? Which university did Basajja Baraba attend? But you pay him the money, he will give you a degree. That is the dynamite. I'm telling every... No, it's not an idealistic. World. You cannot teach people how to sit, give them a false sense of education, because that is miseducation they are giving us. It's not education. Education comes from the Greek word educare, which means to draw out. They teach us how to hate. Bweranyanji, you know Bweranyanji?
I know Bweranyanji.
When you are in Bweranyanji, you are a new student in Bweranyanji. They take you to a river to swear love for people from Muntare, hatred of St. Kagwa, hatred of Ryonza, hatred of Chitunga. And if they find that you are even writing to somebody in St. Kagwa, they will prosecute you. They'll come at night, dressed with masks, beat you up. This is today.
That was then.
No. This is today. What do our children learn in school? They learn how to answer questions and pass exams set by the same teachers, who are teaching 50, 60, 70 children, who are also frustrated. That is the biggest loophole, and I'm telling you,
And
you
what would
remember
you do with
this.
it? What would you do with it?
What would I do?
Practical solutions.
I would take these children and teach them to produce something you can drop on your feet.
But you
I
see,
can teach them.
But you see, Professor,
Yeah.
this is very interesting. But the reality is, not everyone is going to be an entrepreneur. Not everyone is going to get involved in production.
Production doesn't mean you are an entrepreneur. You can learn. If I learn how to tile, why do you tile your house? You, the person who tiles your house, how much does he earn a square meter? 10,000. Did he go to school and get a degree? Now you sit there waiting. Your house can't go ahead because you are waiting for a tiler. Couldn't you have learned that in school? When plumbing,
Possibly what I know he can't do as well.
like what? For example, what is it? To sit here and speak and ask me questions and pretend to be important. I know you are. Anyone can do this. You don't have to go to school. Your grandfather probably asked better questions than you are asking me.
Right, viewers, you're watching Issues at Hand, WBS TV. Peter Kivazu with Professor Nkumahiro Achumika.
Let us teach our children in secondary school how to do plumbing for a house. They can learn this in the morning. They can learn something else in the afternoon. Let us learn to teach them how to tile.
We've been singing that song
because nobody
for as
listens.
long as I've known graduations. Then it was Makerere. Every day you heard them say, "Oh, make them job creators. Do not make them job seekers."
Yes, but they are,
and it's a song.
Okay, when somebody gets a degree in development studies, what is that? How can I get a degree in development studies and look for a job? I studied to develop. Africa is the only place you find an electrical engineer sleeping in darkness, yet he studied light. What is that? Yeah. We are studying the wrong things. We are not receiving education. We are receiving miseducation. I teach my children, I tell my children, my 9-year-old produces a deodorant from natural compounds. 9-year-old. She's called Wahene Mesu. She studies at this school. I forget even the name of the school. It's not important.
I'm not sure she's your child.
My 14-year-old has a juice. She produces juice concentrate. She's 14. She gets about 19 different fruits, produces a compound that is organic. I teach my children. I want something that they can drop on your feet. I want a product. I'm not going to be happy that he came number one. Number one where? What will that number one do? Yeah? Will number one pay rent? That he came 1 out of 50. I don't care whether he was the last one. Where did Murwana study? Where did your boss?
Apprenticeship.
Where did your boss study? Wavamuno.
Apprenticeship.
Apprenticeship. Yes. Why do you call it apprenticeship? He went to a real university. He went to a real college. That is why he started this television. And you who studied mass communication and whatever, what have you started? Truth makes you laugh. Look at the richest people in Sebalamu. Did he study economics? Look at Chirumira. All the people that have gobbled up Kampala, who taught them economics? Which university did they attend? Now they are going to give them honorary degrees because the university lecturers are ashamed. Who is the successful university economist who can say, I practice economics, I need to teach it to you? None. The only thing he can teach you is transfer his own failure to you. That is what it is.
And you're a professor.
Oh, yeah.
Mr.
Of real knowledge.
Let me see that professor translate into a Gordon Wavamuno.
Gordon Wavamuno. This is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't teach you about fish ponds. I have them. I raise fish. I know how to get fish, put it in the water. I know how to feed it. I know how it produces. I observe. I go somewhere, I take a picture.